Okay, now ladies, if you know you bad, don't need no man.
Welcome back to Just Ladies. I am, of course, Anjum Lai, and today I have MDQ, and yes, she is not dramatic. If anything, she is fantastic.
Thank you.
So let's talk about MDQ, your music. Yeah. So when did you start, and how did you get started with the music?
Yeah. So like I said, I always sang. Then in 2003, a friend of mine was recording choruses for some rappers in Nairobi West, and she was so bored with it. And I remember we're having a conversation, and she's like, "This is the most boring thing in the world. I don't get to do anything else." And blah, blah, blah. So I said, "Why don't you write your own songs? Why don't you record your own songs?" And she says, "Yeah, but why don't we write?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I guess, right? Like, sure, we can write some songs." So we went to our old school, St. Mary's, and we got the music teacher to do some vocal classes with us. And then we started writing our own music. And then her sister got really irritated with us. She's like, "What are you guys doing for like 3 months? Like, all you do is go for classes, and this is so boring. You need to put together a show. You need to have something to work backward from." And we're like, "Right, okay, so we're going to put together our first show." And a lot of our friends, incidentally at that time at least, all played instruments. So we convened a meeting of everyone who we knew. And we said, we're going to do a show in 3 months, and it's going to be awesome, and this is what we need. And so then we started writing our own music and teaching the band, and we had never done that, and that was really intense, and practicing with the band. And
How old were you at this time?
I want to say maybe I think I was 20. I think I was 20, going on 21 around that time.
Okay.
And then, so then we put together our first concert, and that was April, the first weekend of April in 2004. We put together our first concert. It was 3 days. We did it in the St. Mary's School Hall, and we had people come, and we had a band, and we had dancers, and smoke machine, and lights, and it was wonderful. And everybody just really contributed their time, and they helped us. And I think during the process of doing that, it just became clear to me, I like this, I enjoy it. It's a combination of the things I like. It's singing, it's performing, but it's also leadership, it's creating, it's inventing things with the band, it's making sure that there's a thing that is happening. And it was great, and we raised 36,000. And we were so pleased with ourselves because
that is
it was pretty good. And then we went shopping for a producer, and all the producers told us useless things. Remember, one in particular told us we need a song that sounds like Manyake. I remember Manyake was a big song then in 2004.
Yes, it was a big song then.
Terrible. And it was only when we met Ted Josiah who was like, "Cool, I get what you guys are trying to do." And so he kind of took us in, and technically we were meant to be recording. Ultimately, we didn't record anything with Ted. We just kind of had a good mentorship period, and he really made us work hard on like vocals and harmonies and songwriting. And Ted is the one who actually was like, "You need to figure out how to do that poetry thing of yours, like write them, find ways to make them move to rhythm." And then the group broke up, 2006.
Why did you break up?
Just my friend, she wasn't interested in doing this as a career. She liked singing, and it was fun. And she had the fun of it, but she didn't want to go beyond that.
Okay.
Then I did the first TPF, and then I got thrown out after 2 weeks. And I was like, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, I mean, it was good. It was a very useful thing, just to remind me I was already doing the thing that I was trying to do by being on TPF. I was trying to be on TPF to make a music career. But by that time, I was already like doing gigs and like building a name. And then I graduated uni 2007. Around that time, in 2007, I started doing a monthly show. And it was covers. I was doing neo soul covers. And then I got onto this project that the British Council had put out. And I wrote the essay, and I submitted a demo, and they liked it. So I got onto this project with all these other artists from Africa. And then we traveled the world. We traveled quite a bit of Africa, and we did some shows in London. And then I became confident again that you can just sing your own songs. Even if people don't know what your songs are and they don't know who you are, you can still put on your own shows. So when I came back to Nairobi 2008, I started now doing my own music. So I would do the neo soul sets, kind of gave way to just Muthoni.
Yeah.
And then I recorded my first EP. An EP is a short a CD. It has like 4 or 5 songs.
Okay.
And that's the one that had Cool Waters. And then I shot my first video.
And what makes hip hop different from, you know, just the other music that you've done before, the other genres that are there? What makes it so different?
I think for me, it's primarily because I can do everything
with it.
It's like, it's broad enough a platform that can allow me to, I can sing, I can rap, I can do flow poetry, I can flow, as opposed to necessarily rap or necessarily sing. Like, there's a halfway point between rapping and singing, which you can do in hip hop.
Let me ask you one thing before we go on a break. What do you think? Do you think Kenyans are embracing hip hop? What is the response to hip hop, especially coming from a female artist?
So first, hip hop was always here. I think that when there was the first wave of sort of the first generation of Kenyan music, Kenyan urban music, in my time, was Kalamashaka, was actually Kalamashaka really were they opened the imagination for us, Uko Flani, and even now this is the stuff that is truly resonant with Kenyans across the country. They still, when you ask them about things that have said their stories, because I feel like it was the closest they came to hearing themselves, their true life stories on the radio and being said in such a cool sort of universally understandable way.
Yes.
And then I think about then the ones who came after that, and the ones who stand out for me, you know, after say Nameless, is Issa and Kleptomaniacs.
Yes.
This was also, you know, versions of hip hop.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kenyans really, truly enjoy the hip hop idea. I think what has happened subsequently over the years is we have failed in presenting a good idea to them.
Okay, when you're coming back, you're going to tell us about what you think about us Kenyans having our own sound. Because I don't think we have sound. And we're going to take a short break, and we're coming back with more of Muthoni as she tells us more about her music and the things that she's done and her creativeness. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We're coming back.
Okay, now ladies, if you know you bad,